Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, either starting or ending it. And very warm welcome to the Umanitek's weekly product webinar, where we take a few minutes to go over what's the kind of latest and greatest and what's on the top of our minds and have a kind of open forum for a discussion on all topics that pertain to how can we make sure that as a society or as humanity, as civilization, we adopt artificial intelligence in a safe way. And of course, we're also discussing the different potential or already active harms that are visible in the online space. Today, we will be somewhat optimized, let's say like that. We'll try to keep it a little bit shorter than usual, as the schedule is very, very tight this week. For all the right reasons. But we will try to be efficient with our time today as we go through the topics of the week as well as the product walkthrough. As you have probably spotted, it's the flight today is going to be a solo. It is going to be me hanging out with you for the next few minutes as we go through all of our topics of the week. So maybe I will give it another minute, and I will do so by a way of letting anyone who's not yet had a chance to see the trailer of AI Doc, which is I think it was dubbed one of the most important films of the year to be seen, and it's currently screening in theaters in the US as well as available in some of the jurisdictions for streaming as well. It's called the AI Documentary, and we are very proud that one of our co-founders, Asa Raskin, is obviously playing a huge role in this, in both creation and the film itself. So what I'll do next is I'll just go and share my screen with you. And we'll check out the AI doc as a start to our today's conversation.
Technology goes wrong. It can go quite wrong.
Your fear of AI is the collapse of humanity.
Well, not the collapse, the abrupt extermination. There's a difference.
So I started making this movie because my wife is 6 months pregnant. Is now a terrible time to have a kid.
I mean, let's just be honest. I know people who work on AI risk who don't expect their children to make it to high school.
How does AI understand pretty much everything? It's surprisingly straightforward.
Intelligence is about recognizing patterns.
Patterns.
If you have learned those patterns, you can generate new information. AI is moving so fast.
It's being deployed prematurely. There's so much potential for things to go wrong.
Why can't we just stop?
All these companies are in a race to get
AI that's vastly more intelligent than people within this decade.
China, North Korea, Russia.
Whoever wins is essentially the controller of humankind.
We need to take a threat from AI as seriously as global nuclear war.
It feels like I have to find these CEOs and get them in the movie.
Great.
I want to ask you to promise me that this is going to go well.
That is impossible.
Okay. Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I confident that it'll go right? Absolutely not.
AI is the thing that can solve climate change.
We could cure most diseases.
What if it's expanding what is humanly possible?
This is the most extraordinary time ever. The only time more exciting than today is tomorrow.
I already love you.
Okay. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
By using AI, we're about to move off of the Earth into the cosmos.
If we can be the most mature version of ourselves, there might be a way through this.
This is the last mistake we'll ever get to make.
There we go. And I'm still struggling with the apocalyptimist as a word, but as a sensation, I think we're more or less finding all of us are finding ourselves in that spot. So yeah, AI Doc, the most urgent film of our times, is speaking about the importance of both artificial intelligence in terms of the positive implications it can have for society, as well as the harms that are equally present, not the as a almost not as even as a consequence, but that's at simultaneously appearing as the positive impacts of the technology as well, and both being of monumental force, of course. So where really we are seeing the effects of that are obviously plentiful. Today we're going to be specifically looking at at the field where AI has already started to really create a lot of waves. So if you've been looking at Umanitek's X account, you've been seeing that we have been posting a lot about the conversation when it comes to misinformation, disinformation, and just the public discourse and the kind of challenges that we're going to be facing when it comes to it. When we have the kind of introducing of what we call the flippening, where there's more content online created by AI agents or AI entities than humans, it's going to become increasingly more difficult to figure out what is real and what's not, and just the misinformation narratives are going to have they have a much easier both path to production as well as to distribution than ever before in history of mankind. And that puts what we took for as a very important pillar of civilization, so the global discourse, the communication, the discussion, at the very risk. So one way of really looking at this is through the prism of the impact that these types of harms are having on media and journalists. And last week, we were looking at a particular journalist, a reporter, and how they personally can be impacted by both the impersonations, by harmful content, as well as the LLM or AI-generated content harms. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of a zoom out and just check out how those same things are applying also to organizations in the media space, not necessarily just individuals. And it is actually one theme that it's not something that was just spotted kind of from the sidelines, but rather something that was actually mentioned in a lot of the conversations that we were having within the industry, where it was increasingly flagged that and I think it's even supported by one of the metrics, that around 90% of reporters believe that there's going to be a significant challenge to disinformation because of AI. And it seems that, or the way it's being framed is that trust is no longer a nice to have thing, right? So it's no longer just something that kind of is a optional characteristics of media reporting, but it's becoming the thing, the most important thing to be for the platforms to have really also the trust and the attention of their audiences. So how do we instill that? How do we enable that also those actors are able to protect themselves against those who are trying to create misinformation by either replicating their likeness, trying to feed off of their existing clout or existing trust that certain brands are holding, and how can we be faster when it comes to tackling these types of harms. As we were last time also speaking a little bit of on the topic of the kind of gender bias when it comes to individuals and reporters, when it comes to where the harms are falling. And I think, again, one of the statistics that we have seen is that, or was reported, I think we just published it recently, so I'm doing a little bit of a quick view on it as we're talking here, is that the Reporters Without Borders published that 74% of the case studies were, a form of were a form of the gender attacks, it was really the female population that got the worst side of it. And it's why I'm mentioning this is also because it's something that we're seeing with our with the way Guardian is being used today. And there is a piece of a data point that I did wanted to mention because it instilled me with a lot of excitement in this weekend. That was that Guardian system actually managed to go from the moment that a harmful post appeared on a particular platform until the point that it was taken down. It took less than 10 minutes. It was actually 7 minutes. I found this remarkable. So that you'll definitely hear more about this as well as we go forward. But I think it's a way of seeing that there is impact to how we're deploying the technology, and in a way allows us to really step in before the harm is able to spread. And on the back of this, I'll just jump right into also sharing my screen so I take you through what I promised in the beginning, and that is that we will be checking out one of the accounts that I have prepared here for you for a media platform, and we're going to be looking at CNN for this particular case. So I'm just firing this up, and as I'm doing so, okay. So now you're seeing basically one view into our Umanitek Guardian agent. So as you know, this the whole view is basically an AI agent that runs 3 different activities for a user or an organization, and as we have in this case, that it's trying to protect online. Firstly, it runs a detection exercise, which means that it looks across the different platforms to find what are positive potential harms or potential threats to the individual or the organization. After its detection is done, you have basically the evidence and the forensics, and then the third part is the takedown. And now if we take a look at the potential threats here that are loading up for me, you'll see that we have them categorized across 3 different buckets or 3 different categories. The first one is the similar accounts or the fake accounts. The social media content is the harmful content, and the LLM risks are what LLMs are generating about you or your, in this case, your brand, your organization. So let's check out what CNN impersonators are up to, and you'll see that there's quite a few of them that have been found here. And yeah, it's a major, obviously, jump on both the name and the logos of CNN. It tries to get replicated and tries to kind of mimic the media house online, so that they could benefit from either trying to appropriate someone else's data, attention, or financial means. And of course, if once CNN decides that this is something that they don't want to see online, what they can do is they can just mark this particular account into evidence and then allow the Guardian to create all the forensic material about this particular threat and save it into the evidence pack. The social media content is harmful content, which for someone like CNN, there's going to be quite a bit. So as you're seeing here, all of this is getting generated or not generated. It's getting populated by the agent from different platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. It's the same coverage we've seen also with the fake accounts. And this is something then that the CNN is able to decide whether something is just a commentary and they're totally fine with it, and they say freedom of speech applies and goes both ways, or I'm just doing a random click here now, say, you know what, like this is going across the line of what we're allowing, and this goes into evidence. On the third point, what we're seeing here is the LLM risks, which is basically an overview of what the models, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, XAI, and Perplexity are saying about you or your brand. And in this case, we're checking out if there's any type of complaints that or any type of responses coming from those models about CNN that could be potentially harmful. Now, there then, by the agent basically creates a threat type, so a categorization of the threat, and that is fed then to the user to be able to make a decision whether they find a particular response, and they can go into each of those to figure out if any of them are again, crossing the line of what is okay, or they are actually in line with what they believe to be a practice or description of the organization. So now this is basically what we're looking at in terms of the detection. For those of you who have been here on one of these webinars before, you will know that all of these cards aren't created just as a random detection insert, but rather they are very nicely organized into a decentralized knowledge graph. So we're using origin trail technology here to create basically this content graph of Guardian from multiple data sources together, like I said, across the several platforms. And because we have it so neatly organized, we are able to then create also different types of evidence specs for the users who are looking to create proofs about an infringement happening. So this is especially important in the cases where we see repeat offenses happening, so that even though we are able to take something down fast, it's still, you still have the evidence back here even after something has been resolved, so that if it's a repeated offense, it's something that you keep that ownership of those proof points with you, which again is something that's is a crucially important thing, especially if the activity is so harmful that you're looking to get either the legal teams or even the police involved in because of the threats that have been aimed towards you. So evidence packs, crucial importance. They're also published on the decentralized knowledge graph, which means that they're not just an evidence pack, but they're an evidence pack with verifiability and a nice structure. And that allows us to really be very, very efficient also in the third step. And the third step being, so after the detection and the creation of this forensics evidence, we can also go towards a takedown. Takedown can be done either by the user just directly. So you'll see that the agent can help you here out by fetching everything from the evidence pack and guide you towards the particular URL where you would then submit all the necessary information to take a particular piece of content or a profile down. Or you can also, as a user, just use this make it go away button. So you automate the takedown. So I would need to fill this out, and then I accept the terms and conditions. And as I would, this would change into that the takedown has started, meaning that all these different steps would be executed by Umanitek and then taking a particular impersonation or a harmful post down. As I said, there's different timelines that can be available here. They can span from days to as I've said before, and I'm really proud of both the system and the team on this, that it took us mere 7 minutes to be able to action on something that was quite harmful for one of the cases. So this is basically how we have the Guardian working. Again, if anything that you saw here as a part of our interface is also available through the Telegram or WhatsApp connection. So really not something that, this is just one view into the agent. But at this being an agent, these functionalities are something that can be leveraged in many different ways. So I will just stop my share here. And I will, maybe just give a chance for any questions, which I'm having trouble speaking up. So if I've missed any, I do apologize very much. But I did promise that this week's we're going to keep it a little bit more efficient. So I'll just do a quick refresher of what we've seen. So we've started off with an AI doc. If you have a chance to see it, check it out on one of your streaming platforms or in theaters if you are in the US. We have been talking about media. There's a conversation we're having also on X. So if you guys are active there, feel free to get engaged, and we can keep this engagement going also after, obviously, this product webinar. And we have also seen the walkthrough for this week, not an individual, but an organization. So also an important kind of pin or a flag to plant there, that Guardian is not solely limited to really performing its role for an individual, but also can be so for a group of individuals, a brand, or an organization, as we've seen today. There you go. 20 minutes mark reached, which was my goal. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's product webinar at Umanitek. I wish you all to have a very successful finish to this week. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and most importantly, stay human. Thank you very much. I'll see you all very, very soon.